Hi, I'm Martyn Priestley here from Urban Wildlife Tips, and today we're going to be talking about trimming the meadow in May. Now you might say, hang on a minute, why trim the meadow in May? The reason is, if you trim the meadow, you're cutting down all this vigorous grasses. Anyway, come with me and I'll show you what I mean.
So this is my wildlife meadow. You can see it here. Got a lot of spring flowering plants in there, cornflowers and things on that line, but you can see now how it's grown since the last cut in March. Now, after many years of having this meadow, I've got a lot of experience, and that's taught me that to establish a good wildlife meadow, you need to keep the vigorous grasses down. Now, a lot of these grasses in here are all native, things like fescue and things on that line, which are all good for moths and bees and things on that line, butterflies. But you can see here, we'll just try and move in, and you can see here that there we've got a nice yellow rattle growing, but you can see the height of the yellow rattle. But then when you look further up to the top of that cane, you can see how high that meadow grass is. Now then, what's going to happen is the meadow grass is going to outpeat all those smaller little plants like the yellow rattle that are growing underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut, or trim rather, all that top part of the vigorous grasses, so that the wildflowers will establish and get a better chance of growing. I'll speak a little bit later about yellow rattle and the very importance of it for any wildlife meadow. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to cut things down like the cornflower and the bluebells and things on that line, even down to the cowslips. I shall go around those and leave them because I want the bees and other insects to feed on them. Right, so I've finished the job now. I've trimmed the meadow, cut it down to probably about 10 centimetres, something on those lines. As you can see, it's all done. But first of all, I want to just point out these yellow rattle. I spoke about yellow rattle earlier on. We've got a lovely now bed of yellow rattle. This all came from a few seeds that I planted. And a little tip for you here, when you get your yellow rattle seeds, put them in winter in the freezer for a couple of weeks, right? Really freeze them, and then that will kick-start them when you plant them out. And look here now, they're all cell seed, they're annual, don't forget, but these now will compete with these grasses. You can hardly see any grasses in here at all, so yellow rattle is doing its job. What I'm going to do then is I can take some of these yellow rattle out, put them somewhere else in the garden, put a wildflower in there, and it won't have to compete with this grass. But you can see now, I've now cut it all the way around the camera. Can you see now? You can just cutting it all the way down. It's not being cut, it's just being trimmed. So that will now give a real benefit to all these little seedlings that are all in here. Right, so we've talked about how the wildflowers, we can encourage them even better by cutting down the taller grasses, so everything's basically the same level. We've also talked about yellow rattle and how important that is. If you need any further advice, drop me a comment and I'll get back to you on that. So what we'll do, we'll come back in July, we'll have a look at the meadow, we'll see how it's improved, we'll also look at all the wildlife that meadow has created. So take on board, have a go yourself, right, and you can see how your meadow will improve. So don't forget to subscribe to my website for further videos, and I shall catch you in the next video. See you later, bye.